You are now tuned into Somewhere in the Middle with Soonie and Mo.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, 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 ay.
Hey, Don on the beat.
I got so many ops.
Everywhere I go, I
got so many ops.
so many ops.
I know they plotting against me. I know it's hate, they wanna kill me, but please don't tempt me, cause I got so many glocks. Hey, ain't none of them empty. Jesus said they would hate me too. That's how I know it's envy. I got so many ops.
Hey, everybody. Welcome. We see you guys in the chat. We appreciate you guys coming in with us today on Friday.
Hello, guys.
Hello, Governor.
If I sound like a guy, please don't. Listen, I know my voice is a hot freaking mess right now.
Actually, if she sounds like a guy, she is. Soonie has transitioned, y'all.
Excuse me.
Just joking.
Yeah, that's not funny because there's already rumors about me having a schlong, and I've clearly popped 3 children out of my you know what.
Oh,
My husband saw it,
tough.
and so did all the doctors.
Sweet. Well, I'm just joking. I'm not serious, of course, but you know I had to drop that in there. Welcome, everybody. Minnesota in the building. Minnesota accountability in the building. Rhode Island in the building. Orlando in the building. We need to get some people from California in here because both of our guests that we are going to have today are from California. We have at the beginning of our show, we're going to have 2 guests today for you guys. We're going to have Nicollet. How do you say her? Evonshell? Nicollet.
It's just one show.
Vonshell. Sorry. Nicollet Vonshell. She is a director in Blexit, California. She's a friend to both me and Soonie. We love Nicollet. And she ties into this episode because she has been kind of involved in the Pastor Brian stuff. She does a lot of lives with Soonie about the topics that we talk about all the time. And we just love her. She's a smart woman. I have a lot of respect for her. And we're excited to have her. So the next guest we have, you guys have seen here before. We have Ben from SoCal Parent Advocates. He was on our show when we were talking about the Pastor Brian debacle at the Temecula Valley School Board meeting when Pastor Brian bucked up at the meeting.
Wait, no, you got to get it right. When Pastor Brian fake saved a girl from fake white supremacy.
That's right. He fake
like
saved,
he always does.
Mm-hmm. Yep. He fake saved a girl from fake white supremacy, trying to make himself look like the hero, you know. Listen, if there's an opportunity for him to grift or for him to claim racism or white supremacy, you will find him there. Okay. It's like
Pastor Brian, when you going to Stone Mountain, dog? I gotta meet you there. That's where they all go. I feel like that's their initiation into the Democrat, you know, the inner ranks is they all go to Stone Mountain and scream at the shadows of white supremacy because of somehow the KKK was started there. I don't know. But white supremacy is everywhere.
It's leaking through the sidewalk cracks. Okay. It's crazy.
Have you seen it yet? You ever seen anybody suffer from white supremacy?
I don't think so. I mean, other than myself, because you know I have that coon spirit.
Oh yeah, we got the spirit of the Klan over here.
The Klan spirit, not the coon spirit. You got the coon spirit. I got the Klan spirit. That's right.
We're gonna have a fun show, y'all.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Pastor Brian actually is watching because he cannot miss an opportunity to hear his own name. Like he just loves the sound of it. In fact, he actually unblocked me because he said that what was it? He makes us relevant. That's what the story was. So he unblocked us. He unblocked us because he makes us relevont. Okay. Meanwhile, yeah, exactly.
Look at this. While you keep talking, we're gonna give Pastor Brian we're gonna give you what you showed up for, sir. This is what Pastor Brian used to represent. This is why we call him Lion Brian. Pastor Brian, when you stop doing this, sir?
With all the white supremacist Trump supporters, too. Shame on you.
The spirit of the Klan was strong.
I wish we had a full body.
We do.
Oh Lord. Not the white socks and the buckle shoes.
Look at him standing next to white supremacy.
My goodness. Arm in arm with the white devil. Pastor Brian. Well, y'all should tell Pastor Brian we're live and we're talking about him, because I'm sure him and his bedbug friend Mitch and Johnny would love to come in and, and witness all this. But anyways, I was saying we have Ben on the show. He is with SoCal Parent Advocates. He has been in the thick of this from the beginning. He's got a great update to share with us, because believe it or not, since the last time we had Ben on the show, they have made incredible strides in not only Temecula Valley, but he's also helped out with Chico, with Glendale. We had that parent on the show also that was from Chico, that was from Save Chico. And us getting the word out, and it's not just us, there's been a lot of people sharing this stuff, but it's really, really helping the momentum. And I asked Soonie if we could have them back on the show, because I really felt like we needed to show other parents that might be hesitant to speak up and say something about this. Yeah. What can be done when you stand up, and don't let the white supremacist name calling scare you, as Nicollet said in her video.
It's all a scare tactic.
Yeah. It's all a
Nicollet, by the way. She got the Coon Bunch. I call them the Coon Bunch. She got the Coon Bunch. Mad. They done hosted 4, 5, 6 lives. I went to sleep, woke up to lives. I'm like, damn.
They're all talking about her. I know. And we'll show you the video. I'll show you the video that she posted, as well as a video from Ben, so you guys can kind of get associated with who they are, and their spirits, right? Their spirits. So anyways, do you have anything you want to say before we go into our introductions of our guests?
No, I'm excited to do the show. I hope there's a lot of people here. If you're new here, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and you hit the notification bell. Yes. Share this with your friends, because we are working on half of our network since Mo got a strike for no reason.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if you guys are watching, and I know there's people from Discord, please push this to all the Discords so that everybody can come watch this show.
Yeah. So let me tell you that story really quick, because it's a really short story. Short story being, I got a strike on my YouTube channel. I'm banned from YouTube for 2 weeks because I posted a video that the White House YouTube channel posted of Jen Psaki. And I actually posted this 2 years ago, of Jen Psaki actually saying that vaccines kill you. And I just posted the video. I didn't comment on it. I didn't give my opinion about it. And YouTube said that I was spreading hurtful misinformation. And so I got on with my YouTube representative, and I was like, so just to make sure that we're like staying consistent, you guys also gave the White House YouTube channel a strike, right?
No,
no, they did not. They did not. But I told them, I said, it's a gold mine of misinformation over there. So if you guys,
for thee, but not for me.
Exactly. If y'all get paid on commission for striking people down, head on over there and make your monthly goal. Because yeah,
go for it.
Anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and first show you my most favorite video of Ben trolling the streets of Temecula. Okay, he's over here trolling the streets of Temecula. This is actually, I believe, for a elementary school or a middle school. He'll clarify that. It's either an elementary school or middle school. I don't think it was a high school. And he is showing these parents that are protesting in the street for this curriculum that you're about to see Ben hold up. Ben is trying to get them to agree upon the fact that the curriculum that they're trying to feed our children is completely inappropriate. Let's see what they have to say. And of course, I press played on the wrong screen.
Oh. Trying to ban these books. And if you wonder who wants these books in the schools, hear their faces. Can you agree with me that we don't want these in our schools? Can you agree with me? Here, shake my hand. No? You want these books in the schools? We have been working nearly daily to get these out of the schools, and these are the people who are going to call you a book-banning Nazi. These people right here. They're the ones, look at their faces, they're the ones who want this in the school. I'm going to ask again, can you please find common ground with me and agree that this should not be in the schools? Please. Here. I'll leave you alone. But at least this.
So
Please shake my hand. Please. Man, let's get them all. Let's get them all. Let's get them all on camera.
You're not allowed to take my picture.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. We're on public property. I don't care. I don't care what permission. I don't give you permission to put these in the schools. We are growing and we're expanding because you people want these books in the public schools.
I don't agree with films. So
you don't agree with the books?
I don't agree to be filmed.
Well, we're in a public place, so it doesn't matter. Do you agree with the books, though?
You're being really aggressive. Do you always?
No, I'm not. Oh, you're scaring me. You're scaring me. Hello.
You're making me feel unsafe, and I'd like
you are scaring me. Please don't touch me. I'm very sensitive. Please, I'm just asking. Please, do you want these books in the schools? Do you agree with these? Is it okay if I don't want these in the public? Why are you harassing me? I'm asking a question. Please help me. Help me understand. Help me understand where you guys are coming from. I want to learn. I want to learn about you, and I want you to learn about my perspective. Can you tell me why you would think that it's acceptable for children to have access to this pornography? I want to learn about you. Please help me understand. No, nothing. I mean, your silence is deafening, man. I've been finding this stuff. I've been up and down the district trying to ban these.
I love that he took selfies with everybody. I like further on in the video, that's what you see is him taking selfies with everybody, but hilarious. All right. So now, before we bring Ben in, I want to show the video that the parents of Temecula, reposted of Nicollet speaking about this issue and the whole white supremacy thing. So here you go.
One of the things that I find very, very freaking disturbing about what's happening in Temecula Valley, as well as in Glendale school districts, is that the parents who are speaking out and fighting to protect the innocence of their children are being labeled as white supremacists. And if you are Latino, Asian, or whatever, and being one of those parents speaking out, that people are using terms like identifying with your whiteness and your white passing to somehow aid white supremacy. The racism in statements like that, when people are trying to protect their kids, literally doesn't make sense to me. Just because you're okay with a certain curriculum being taught to your children does not mean every parent is okay. And the fact that all of these curriculums have been shared with children without telling the parents what was going on. They didn't ask permission. They didn't make sure that the parents had a copy of the syllabus, any of that stuff ahead of time like they used to do back in my day when I was in school. The parents are having to find this information out after the fact. And what's happening in Glendale really makes me sick, because her goddamn special ed teachers bullied her in front of the goddamn class.
Wow.
Literally bullied her and tried to make her feel less than. And when she's already in one of the most marginalized groups of children, she's a child, and her teachers bullied her. The fact that people in Glendale want to overlook that part really is what's making me sick. Black people trying to tell Hispanic people that they're trying to identify with whiteness so that they can fit in for whatever reason in Temecula Valley, in Glendale, in LA, anywhere. These terms should not have anything to do when we're talking about our kids. Y'all are making stuff political issues, and everything is about race now. I don't understand how somebody can be racist because they want to protect their child from learning about any type of sexual orientation, any type of sex positions, sexual talk. Like, I don't understand what that has to do with racism. Y'all literally sitting up here like roping everything together, and this mess has got to freaking stop. Y'all are fighting the wrong goddamn fight. Everything ain't about race. If y'all can't see y'all are being led by the nose off of your emotions and your
That was amazing. I loved it. I loved it. All right, let's bring in our guests. Let's bring in our guests right now. Nicollet, welcome, and Ben.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hi,
Hey, Ben.
How are you doing? How are you guys doing?
Great.
Well, okay. So, Nicollet, what?
Yeah.
I know that you have been talking about this for a really long time. Like you've kind of been in this fight for a long time, and different topics, of course. But I had seen that We the People had reposted this video that was amazing, and Ben and also the parents from We the People have been saying like we need to see more Black people speaking out because that there's a missing element there, because those are the people that are being fooled into thinking that this is about race, and they're falling for it because they don't know. Like me and Soonie have sat here and explained multiple times what's actually in this curriculum and what the truth of it is.
That whole
right? Right.
That whole goddamn part.
Yeah. Now you're a mom, right? You have kids.
Yes, I do. I have two.
How old are they?
They are 8 and 7 right now.
Okay. And you're in California. Are you in LA? You're in LA?
I am. I'm in LA County.
Okay.
God help me.
Is this going on in your school districts?
So funny thing is, in LA County school districts, absolutely, because Glendale is a part of LA County. So what happened in Glendale just really made me pop off, because that little girl's parents specifically told those teachers that she did not want her child to be sitting in. She opted in for the sexual education. I think her daughter's 15. I was in sex ed, and when I was like 15 or 16, so sex ed is one thing, but she specifically said, because it was listed, so that they could say that they did not want her in the portion involving any type of LGBTQ anything. They did it anyway. That child, because she's raised in a Christian home and she has her own moral system, she has her own belief system, she has her own relationship with God. When they started talking about it, she reminded her teachers of what her mama and her daddy already told them, and they decided to make an example out of her in front of the class and belittle her and talk down to her. They literally straight up asked her, like, again, and they made it about race even with that child because she's Latina. They literally straight up asked her, how could she not understand what it feels like to be marginalized? They straight up asked her, as a woman, as a person of color, how can you not like resonate? How does it not bother you to tell people that they don't, like, their lifestyle doesn't matter, like they're not important? Like that line of literally preface that was saying, because as a person of color. What the hell does race have to do with a child learning anything about any type of sex, anything? In the way that the sexual education in schools now is not what we grew up with. What we grew up with in sexual education was literally just telling you what your personal private part was used for. They was not teaching us how to have sex. They actually was teaching us back then why we don't have sex. They don't, and they would say, if you're going to have sex, use condoms. However, that does not protect you still 100% from all these STDs, and they would list the STDs. The way now they're like, oh, sex ed is now about teaching physicians how to do it with girl on girl, boy on boy, sex toys, like how to use said sex toy. The way, and that was just in Glendale. So thankfully, my kid's father doesn't live in LA County. And so I kept my kids in that school district out there because they get to still be on online school. So we get to watch every single one of their classes at the beginning of the school year this year, when because, LA is LA and Cali is Cali. I literally had a very long conversation with their teacher about what they were going to be teaching in health class, because I noticed that they started wanting to implement these health courses in my kids' school, where they go online for an hour, and then the rest, it's me and their dad. And I specifically asked her, looked dead in her face, and made her answer me when I asked her, y'all going to be trying to teach anything about gender orientation? Are you guys going to be talking to them about LGBTQ stuff? And she was like, no. It's literally just health and how to take care of your body as a kid. I was like, okay, because I absolutely don't want those sorts of things taught to my child. If it comes to gender, that's a conversation between me, my child, and their father.
Right.
And she was like, oh, of course. Okay, good.
Yeah. Good
because
on.
I don't want to have to come blow the school up.
Yeah, and I know Soonie, you did the same thing with your kids.
Yeah.
Soonie stays
I'm
up.
at the school. I'm at the school twice a week, sometimes 3, 4 times.
Yeah.
I go into the classroom. I go observe. I establish a relationship with their teachers. So it was always one phone call away. And the one time I did have a situation like this where it wasn't even a teacher, but it was a child who came to school talking about he was non-binary and he wanted the other children to recognize that. I nipped it in the bud. I don't listen. These are mine. And while mine are here, this won't be happening because the other parents won't come to the school and say something. But no, the school was very helpful. They said, we don't teach that here. My daughter's teacher was a Christian. I love that lady. She kept her Bible in the classroom. Everything she taught the kids came from a Christian curriculum, whether they wanted it or not. But you don't always have teachers like this. So shout out to Miss McCoy. I love that teacher. Best teacher my kids have ever had.
It's important. So important.
That's crazy. That poor baby that got harassed in the classroom.
Yeah, that's insane. That
you
is
guys, the fact
insane.
even in the school board meeting, her mom detailed out what happened and the way the principal completely gaslit her mom and literally told her that like we're gonna investigate it, we'll get back to you. And within an hour came back and said it didn't happen. And the mom was literally like, How does my daughter know this stuff then? Because I didn't teach it to her. We don't talk about stuff like that in this house because she's not old enough to understand any of it. So where'd she get it from?
Right.
And so literally straight up lied in that school board meeting. And then the next meeting they went to, and the little girl, like listening to her recount it for herself, her mom spoke first and then she spoke. Hearing her talk about it for herself broke my heart even more. It's literally by the grace of God that I was at work during those school board meetings because I probably would have acted a fool after hearing that child tell her story about how her freaking grown goddamn teacher spoke to her and bullied her. Because one thing I cannot stand is a bully. I was the bully of the bullies when I was growing up, and it literally hasn't changed. Now I understand why. I understand why I was like that because I needed to be like that. Because of all this crap that's going on, like right now. And then in Temecula, like just watching that video of he who shall not be named because I'm not giving anything. That video pissed me off to hear somebody create even more division. And what cracks me up, not even just about that video, but about the videos that was made of me, because people were sending me so many lives and videos, and I was like, I'm not doing it because he's trying to grasp at those straws that he got when he went viral on Shade Room, but didn't get no following from it. So now you're trying to put people on blast who have a following because you doing everything you trying to do to stay relevant, and I ain't gotta do nothing. So I literally, it was so funny to me, like he went out his way to make that real. I was like, Lord, he shouldn't even did that, because it wasn't even like, my thought process wasn't even like, oh, everybody else is gonna jump on him. No, it was like, God does not play about his kids, and I ain't got to do nothing. God said vengeance is his. Whatever God says in his word stands to the test of God dang time. So I didn't have to say or do anything. The little comments I did make was to Mitch and Johnny and them, because they were saying funny stuff, and because we have a rapport. We're not close friends like that, but we have a weird friendship, right? So I wasn't even going back and forth. It was just being funny. But I didn't read anybody else's comments on that post in my defense or in my opposition, because I knew what he was trying to do in the first place. And then throughout the day, people were sending me like one live after another. I was like, who spends this much time talking trash about somebody else? Like, how is this how you're choosing to spend your time? Yeah. Like, that's the part that didn't make sense to me, because it's like, if we're really in a fight here, because I honestly believe that we are, the way I'm not spending a single breath talking trash about somebody because they disagree with me on it. What I'm trying to do at all times is find a solution as to how to build the bridge, as to how to erase the lines, as to how to tear down all these fences. Because when it comes to kids, we all agree that the children cannot protect themselves. Absolutely. That's where we start. All of this stupidity with this discord and stuff that's going on, and trying to take this narrative and make it into something else, is the part that's starting to really piss me off, because When you call yourself a Christian, but sit up and want to act like this is not a spiritual warfare and like the devil ain't real and like God did not tell us to protect the children at all costs, like we don't know that children in the Bible were sacrificed for a reason.
Yeah.
Like it does not make sense to me how all of a sudden we just want to act like that don't exist. This life is effing temporary. Politics is either going to put you in hell. Well, politics is only going to put you in hell. Because doing anything for the sake of a political agenda in any manner of a thing that is not submitted and surrendered under the word of God is going to send you to hell because you're chasing after the wrong thing. Pride always goes before a fall. So yes, I speak on a lot of agendas and stuff because man has decided to make things political. That wasn't my decision. That's not what God wanted. They decided to make things that ain't got shit to do with politics about politics. And that just because y'all make it about politics doesn't mean I'm gonna keep my mouth off of it. As the body of Christ, God never told us that it was supposed to be separation of church and state. Everybody else just went along with that. God didn't tell us to do that. God said in his word that wheresoever your feet shall tread, that land have I given you.
Yep.
The United States, if you are a Christian living in the United States, God meant for us to take this land and submit it unto him. The Bible says that he, let me calm down. I'm like preaching a little bit. I'm sorry.
I know
where
you're
going. This is why we brought Nicollet on, everybody. She doesn't hold back.
It kills me because it says if we really want our land to be healed, like scripture is very goddamn clear. God literally said that if his people, not everybody, not the United States, not people that don't believe in God, not people who are of different religions and different divisions. No, God said, if my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, then will I hear from heaven and heal the sick and heal their land. If we really wanted our land healed, we would get down off of our horses, we would get in God's face and ask God how he wants us to handle every single goddamn situation. We're trying to do everything in our own strength, and that's why none of it is working. We're doing everything in our own strength and our own logic and understanding, and that is why we keep losing from the carnal mind type of situation. But when you keep your focus on doing what God told you to do, how God told you to do it, God don't care nothing about politics. God is not staying out of politics. So I'm not about to not say something just because I'm not in a particular school district. Cali is mine. God gave Cali to me just like he gave Cali to every single brother and sister in Christ in the kingdom of God that lives in Cali. Cali is our goddamn land. At some point, we either going to take it back or we just going to keep giving it up. And I refuse. With everything I've seen now, there is zero goddamn way I am just going to keep letting the devil have his way because we were silent long enough, and that's how we got in this goddamn mess that we in right now. So we ain't being silent no more. So I'm literally told everybody else, I could care less if somebody calls you a goddamn white supremacist, a coon, Uncle Tom. I don't care. What does God say about you? What does God call you? Because all of those words is just words. We grew up in an era where sticks and stones may break your bones, but words, we need to get back to that. Some of us have forgotten that. I need us to remember that because my word is my bond for a goddamn reason. We're not staying silent no more. Stop letting words push you into these places of unforgiveness and bitterness and control how you react and how you respond to situations. Keep your head level because that scripture also too. So from that point forward, we just move. Like we move how God tells us to move and stop being pushed by every turn of it. Even the Bible says, do not be moved by every wind of doctrine. That was not just about like fake Bibles and theologies. No, that applies to every single aspect of life because God is infinite. So everything in this world was created by God. The devil can't create anything. If it is not giving God praise, it is absolutely 100% a counterfeit, period. There ain't no gray area with God. So if I tell anybody to pick a side, you only pick a side when it comes to heaven and hell. Any other time, God tells us to come together in a place of peace. God tells us to be the peace bearers. God tells us to build the bridge. God tells us to pray for those who spitefully use us. So what old boy did yesterday, I ain't have to do nothing. I knew God was going to handle it. And at the end of the day, I'm still not going to disrespect him, even though he went all the way out his goddamn way to disrespect the hell out of me, out of my appearance, talking crap about me. Like, the fact that it's funny, it is so laughable to me that he literally tried to talk crap about my appearance. Like, bruh, the way my worth and my value is far above Ruby, so you could talk all day.
He's terrible.
So
He's
it's
terrible.
just, let me calm down. I'm gonna calm
Well,
down.
you know,
But yes, let me.
it's an interesting segue because you had said in one of your videos, you said, I don't do this for me. I do this because I was called to do this. I speak this way because I was called to speak this way. And Ben today, I think it was today or maybe the other day, posted a video about the Pastor Tim Thompson in Temecula who had made a statement that don't go to the board meeting. Don't, parents don't go up there and make a ruckus. We just need to stay home and we need to pray. And Ben said, I respect you, Pastor Tim, but no, we don't. We need to fight. We need to fight. And I love that he did that because, and I thought that that's why you guys would be a really good pairing for today, because you're both just like intense, man. Like you could be Ben Soldier out in Glendale in LA over there in the streets, because it takes a certain type of intensity. You know what I mean? And I love that you have that, and Ben has it as well. All right, Ben.
Well, hey everybody, Mo and Soonie, good to see you again. Nicollet, you're my hero. I'm so happy to meet you on here. Right on.
I'm happy to meet you too.
And thank you for what you shared. That resonated around. So appreciate that. Right on. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I've been kind of at this, as y'all know, for a year and a half. I didn't want to do any of this. I'd rather be skiing and being out in the mountains. But they want to hide things from me about my little children. So now we are mobilized and we're activated. And we are especially working this month up in the Inland Empire and around LA County. And our movement is growing and we're learning new ways to topple their narrative. And if I could back up, that video that you showed on the streets in front of that school, that was in Temecula, and that was the first smaller operation of kind of my month-long goals here. But how did I know that they were going to protest in front of that elementary school? Well, Ben Richards is on all of their newsletters on their side. And we have in Temecula what's called a One Temecula Valley PAC. And that a lot of the teachers unions are on there, and they're trying to unseat our board members. And it just goes to show you how mean and nasty these people are. They are targeting our board members' kids' school. And that is why I went there. So these people are absolutely after us, and it's not right what we're doing, what they're doing. And the leftists there are very mean and vicious. So, I play some hardball, but in reality, we need to reach out to these people, because I think on their side, there is a hardline group who would see that picture and say, absolutely, yes, I want this school. But there is a middle ground that we need to find creative ways to reach out to, because we're all in our own echo chamber, right? And the media definitely isn't on our side. No. And the media is painting to those people that we are book banners. We want to ban books just about LGBTQ, et cetera, et cetera. So that was kind of the background of that exercise there. But
they say you want to block Black history is what you're trying to block.
Correct. And we went on that in the show earlier. What happened in regular, but it's just still, and this is me trying to give the other side credence, but it boggles the mind that if you have somebody who holds that up to your face, you have nothing to say. It's nuts. Yeah. And the great epiphany that what a lot of people are going to understand, and which I found out nearly a year ago, is that there definitely is parents who are absolutely okay with that type of smut in the schools. And they don't care what your boundaries are because they're going to cross it. They can get these kiddie porno books, Amazon, Barnes and Noble, and unfortunately the public library. But the people that we are dealing with, and why I want to activate people to get in this fight, that's not good enough for them. And they know exactly what they're doing.
I mean, I was like baffled because I don't know if some people caught the actual images that you were showing, but like one of them was two men giving oral sex. Like one man was giving oral sex to another, or a boy was giving oral sex to another boy. And it was a cartoon, but still, I'm thinking in my head, how can you rationalize being okay with that? Showing that to a child. How can you even rationalize it? Like I couldn't even wrap my head around it.
I don't know. And like I said, I'm trying to be the nice guy. These people hate my guts because I play pretty hardball, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they don't know that these books are in the schools, but let me tell you, I've been up and down the districts and SoCal Parent Advocates. We have worked with parent groups on our side of school districts, nearly every school district from LA County all the way down to the border down south. And we have been up and down this region finding these types of books. And I'm telling you, there are parents who literally want this in the schools. And that's it's unacceptable.
So
they're pedophiles.
They're sick. It's
they're straight up pedophiles. There is no other term for a person who is okay with children being taught that unless you want your child to learn sexual things early for a goddamn reason. If you want that, you are a pedophile. One thing I don't do, like I said, we build bridges. That is my goal. I'm not building a bridge with a pedophile. You catching hands. You are absolutely, if you look me in my face and you tell me, if you defend that, I might actually try to bodily, physically put my hands on you and have you rethink your life, because that tells me right there that either you are planning on attacking a child or you have attacked a child and you just ain't been caught yet. Either way, the only type of person that can empathize with a pedophile is Jesus, and ain't nobody Jesus. And even Jesus wouldn't empathize with a pedophile. The closest thing that we can get to an understanding of how Jesus would even deal with that level of sin is what we call empathy. In order for us to empathize, we have to have either been in a similar situation, experienced it, know somebody that's experienced it, to empathize with somebody. How do you empathize with somebody who has a fetish for children?
I don't know. And to even be even nicer, try to meet these people in the middle, you have to understand that they are now fighting me to take it out of the schools. That's a whole nother level of insanity. So because imagine, it'd be one thing if you're just okay with that and your kids. Okay, you know what? You want that? You don't want it in the schools? Okay, I'm not going to fight you about it. I get that. That's reasonable, but I'm going to have it in my house. No. These people are fighting you to keep it in the schools. So luckily we're growing, and I want to show you all something. All of the wins that we're experiencing in Southern California, because these people better buckle up. So in Temecula, where this happened, we banned CRT. Right. And first, you have to kind of flip that school board. You have to get a pro-parent school board majority. And we banned CRT. And that's kind of what started this off. And if you look up here in Glendale area, where is that at? Up around here, this is kind of where Glendale and Satacoy, that has been going national news. But Chino down here, we are thinking regionally. And Chino recently, as of last night, passed a resolution to ban the pride flag from the schools. Now, I'm not anti-LGBT. I'm sure none of us are, but we can all agree, and what these people need to understand, that the pride flag isn't just about who you want to love anymore. It is about debauchery. It is about desecrating the cross, and it's about much more. So we're lucky to have them ban that. But what I want to turn your viewers on to this overall strategy is this new resolution that they're going to pass, hopefully. And what that resolution in Chino looks like is a parental notification. And what's happening in California is the California Department of Education is telling their smaller districts that you cannot out students to their parents. And that's exactly why I just got activated a year and a half ago, because the elementary school at my kids' school made an elementary school lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer club. I've never been against the club. I've always wanted to know if the kids show up, and they said no. So they've been leaning on that, and hopefully groundbreaking in SoCal, we can overcome that, because Chino is looking to pass a resolution that will bring parents into the fold. And that is all we're asking for. But there are people who are going to argue against that, and they want to hide things from parents. So once we hopefully pass that in Chino, hopefully, like y'all are saying, we're going to inspire others and other school boards to pass those resolutions in a copy and paste template.
Yeah, absolutely.
SoCal. So follow us in SoCal. We are very active, and we must stand up. We must show up, and we have to fight for it.
Yeah. So I want to take a step back to how you said you started to kind of infiltrate into these groups to kind of find out what they were doing and what they were fighting for, right? Because I think a lot of people don't understand. And you actually put me onto this, and I joined Fight Back Collective. I joined Estes. What's the other one? There's another group. I can't remember. There's 3 now that I'm kind of in the loop with, and I get their notifications, and I join their meetings. And you have to pretend. Okay. So this isn't for everybody. Nicollet, this may not be for you, because she may want to kill some people on some of these calls, because some of the stuff you hear. No, well, there's been some calls where I have actually heard young children on these calls, and it's very disturbing to me that these young children are able to be on these calls, and they actually hold calls just for students sometimes, where the students are taught how to go and protest if there's something they want to protest. So they teach them how to activate, what to put on their signs, what their rights are. Okay. And these kids join these calls, and their parents aren't on these calls. But you have to apply on their website. So go to Fight Back. Well, Fight Back Collective, I think they've now been disillusioned. Like, they're not even in existence anymore. Yeah. So that's a good thing. But the lady who runs Fight Back Collective is now focusing on Estes. So Estes, I think, is her group name on Instagram. And you'll have to go to their website, sign up that you want to join the fight, right? And fill out their little insignificant form. They're going to make you agree to some terms that say that you're, the real deal, and you're really in it with them and all this other stuff, and just say yes to all that. And then you get to hear all this stuff. And you get to hear what they're planning, and you get to hear what it is they're going to go fight at the school board meetings for. And that's how Ben is doing this. I mean, he's probably in it. Well, I know he's in it a lot. You're a lot more invested than I am. But it's incredible. And I wanted to share that, because I think people at the very least just need to listen to these meetings. Even if you don't have the guts to get out there just yet and fight in the streets, not fight, but, get out in the streets and get involved. Listen just to understand how absolutely determined these folks are to get their needs, their demands, not their needs, their demands met at any cost.
Yes. And to your, and here's the crazy thing. This isn't like I'm disagreeing with these people on raising taxes.
Right.
No. These people are trying to push this in the schools. They want you to go back to the Tim Thompson, who I respect very much. They want you to go away and pray. They want you to be too busy and not get involved. Right. That is playing into their hand. And just like you all were talking about, you have to go ask questions at your school. You have to build relationships. And you have to subtly let these people know that you're there and you're watching. Because just like Mo was talking about and what people exposed, these people are leftists. It seem like they are trained. So for the activation call to action, we need you in this fight. We need you to bring your passions, talents, and skills. You may not want to be the person to get out there on the ground, but you do photography, show up to these candidates for school board, take free pictures. We have got to get activated now. We have to expose as much as we can, activate as many people as we can, and come 2024, we have to start January 1st on a local level. So we are building that energy right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is the most important fight. Don't let anybody tell you any different, that there's other fights that we need to be fighting, because this is the most important fight, is our kids.
Yes.
So a couple of things for strategies. Sorry, not to cut you off. Strategies. First of all, go in your schools. There is an organization called Courage is a Habit. I think it's courageisahabit.org. Very well done website. They have guides. For instance, they have a packet of 10 questions to ask your principal. Okay. You're going to go in the schools. You're going to make sure that you're asking these questions. Then you also need to find your local parent activist group. You need to plug in. I'm a regional guy in SoCal Parent Advocates, but I rely on these local parent groups. For instance, Chino Unified on Instagram, they're down and in. They know the specific people of the board, etc. And we need people to commit to going to one event per month. We are at a strategic disadvantage. We're working our butts off. We're raising our kids. I mean, do these people even freaking work? Are they on the government? How do they have time for this? I don't know.
Swear to God, that's what I would be thinking. Like, God, like, dang, like everything happens while I'm at work, and I'm like, I manage a salon. Like, I can't just take off.
You have to understand that is one of their strategic advantages. So unfortunately, the only way I can see to counter that, we have to show up once a month. But yeah, so that's where you can start, and you can just start getting in the game. And like I said, whatever your passions are and whatever your interests are, just kind of follow that. But you're all very smart. We need your ideas, because I'm living proof. I'm not a smart man, Janie, but if you bring ideas to the table, to your local team, you will make a difference. Yeah, we have to do this now, because just like y'all said, we've been relying on the silent majority. That's why we're here.
So, yes. It's true. And I want to even add, like, we need to, because one of the things that I think puts us at a disadvantage is that for those of us who are not afraid of getting out there, we will get out there and we'll argue and we'll fight, but then we're also not coming with solutions. So when people talk about CRT, and it's like, I know that they hid a bunch of LGBTQ stuff in this curriculum because somebody showed it to me. And not even just that, I also obviously have a problem with Black children being told that they'll always have to struggle for the rest of their life, and white kids being told that they will always be their oppressor, even if they try not to be. Like, I have issues with those things. But because I know those are my issues, my solution to that is, well, if you're telling me you're not really trying to teach kids that, well, then take it out of the curriculum, come back to the drawing board with that missing, and then let's talk it out. The same thing with the curriculum for, like, the sex ed and all that stuff. How I grew up in Alabama, they would give our parents a syllabus. On that syllabus would still be the list of, like, reading material. And then there would be an alternative list of reading material. Say any of our parents didn't want us to read that particular book during the summer, or whatever it was, or in that class, because we had to do book reports. Whatever our parents didn't want us to read, they had an alternative list for our parents to choose from instead. I don't understand how, like, I'm 38. I've been out of school for like 20. I graduated in 2003, so 20 plus years. I don't understand how in 20 years we completely got away with the transparency with parents being involved in the schools and giving alternatives. If there is something that is going to be an issue for parents, why are you, they're not even trying to give an alternative. They're just saying, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. But we're going to shove this down your throat and you have to take it anyway, but are completely unwilling to come with alternatives. So I think, like I said, like one of the things that we need to start pushing for is, if y'all are trying to tell us that this is not what you're trying to do, well then go back to the drawing board, pull out these things because you said that's not what you're trying to do, and then bring it back to us, and then let's talk it out. But instead of just going to these things and arguing, because then it just looks like we want to argue just as much as they want to argue. It's like we need to also start thinking about coming to the drawing board with solutions so that we actually are moving forward in a positive direction for our children.
That's a great point, Nicollet. That is an excellent point. Absolutely agree. And then to the answer to your question of how do we get here? So I'm also a member of No Left Turn in Education California chapter, and we encourage people to read this book. This has been coming down the pike for decades. And now at our own time, we are all awakening to this Marxist radical leftist ideology that's been permeating all of our institutions. They've been permeating the colleges and upper echelons of education, and now it's gone down into our public schools. So this book right here kind of lays that out. Battle of the American Mind, Pete Hegseth. I'm in no way affiliated, but it will give you the history of kind of why we're here and the fight that we are undertaking. And that is part of my second prerogative, is to activate as many people as we can, because 2024, we have got to be organized and networked.
Aware. Yeah.
There are some bills that they're terrible bills that they're trying to pass to make it illegal for, well, obviously with the, kids who want to transition, that the school can keep it from the parents. And then they're trying to pass another bill in California that makes it like almost child abuse if a parent doesn't want to accept their child.
No, literally does. It
did
does
pass.
Make it they literally call it child abuse.
And it's the head of these bills is a guy named Anthony Weiner.
Scott Weiner.
Oh, but isn't he related to the other Weiner?
Yeah,
he's definitely a
the guy with the last name Weiner.
Yeah,
like you can't make this up.
Like, entire world. But yeah, so the bills is a whole nother war that I don't have time to do, and I have people who say, "Hey, if you tracking this bill, we're all spread thin here." That's why I call to action. We need more people in this fight. I am absolutely up to my ears and stuff to do. And we got people who track the bills, and what they do in California, especially under Scott Weiner, he has staffers that pay strategically to just barrage us with bills, just 20, 30, 40. And they're going to try to push it in. It is nuts. So
and they're all dealing with the over-sexualizing of children. Yes. He's a freaking pedophile. I don't care what anybody says. That man is a pedophile, and if I ever see him in the street.
Yeah. That's gonna be she needs a t-shirt that says, "If I ever see you in the streets." That's gonna be her tagline.
I cannot stand that man. Every single bill he has ever worked on since he got elected has literally been 100% directed at children. Every single one of them. He hasn't worked on anything else. Nothing else. Not anything working with adults. He literally got a bill passed in California that basically did away with the sexual predator registry. Like nobody has to. If you get even if it's against a child, they don't even have to register. Even if it's against a child, and they literally put in San Diego. They literally put the halfway house for pedophiles that got out of jail. Not even by a school. They put it in a suburban neighborhood full of kids, and the school bus stop is right in front of that goddamn house.
And hey, real quick to the viewers who are like, "Yo, crazy Californians, why don't you just move out?" I wish I could at this point, but
I wish.
You know that you need to be activated too. You need to get involved too, because whatever is happening here,
it's going to
Oh,
come.
absolutely.
there.
Yeah.
You have to hold the line where you are at. You
Yeah.
need to get involved in the schools. You need to ask the questions,
Mm-hmm.
let them know that you're watching, and get involved in your local politics and
Yeah.
your local whatever party to shore up so what's happening here doesn't come to your house.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, California and Florida are the case study. If people have not noticed that there are two very opposite extremes right now for a reason. That was a strategic move on the people that are pulling the strings. They did that on purpose. So whatever happens in California, if it works, gets immediately, and we've been watching this happen for at least the past like 5 to 7 years. Whatever works in California, they push through in every other state. So just because you're not in Cali and y'all don't have to deal with this right now, it basically means that you are going to have to deal with this. You just ain't having to deal with it so heavy. And we can't leave, because if we leave, then who's going to fight for other people's kids?
Right. Right.
Because some of these parents ain't even fighting for their kids. We have to fight for other people's like kids who ain't even paying attention to their children. Like we can't leave. You can't just tuck tail and run. Somebody's got to do it.
Yeah. And Sooney's been saying this because she's not one for like the presidential level politics. She's been screaming from the rooftops always to be involved in your local politics, to understand, who's getting put in office. But don't wait for it to become a blaring problem in your area, because I guarantee you, if you actually go take a visit to your school, attend a couple school board meetings, you will see that they are already slowly sneaking it in, and you're going to wait until and then it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late. And then you're going to be in the position that California's in. So Ben, tell us what happened this past week at the school board meeting when you guys showed up and they had the whole school board there. Tell us what happened there.
Yeah. So we went to Glendale. Well, no, first. So in Temecula, they fired the superintendent. Okay?
Yeah.
And the reason they did that is because after we banned CRT with that resolution, their heads exploded and they said, "Why would you ban CRT, you racist? Did you know that CRT isn't being taught in the district?" I don't know. But so that's kind of what started amping them up. And what happens when you flip your school board and ban that type of stuff, if your superintendent is not on your side and is owned by the California Teachers Union, who is very vicious, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to run a sabotage campaign underhandedly against you. So we showed up at the school board, and of course, these people are mean, they're vicious, and they are just absolutely nasty. And that's why I made this video with Tim Thompson, who I very much respect. But we need people to show up. You have to be on the ground. And if you are afraid that you're going to be called the white Christian nationalist or a bigot, let me tell you, none of us are coming out of this unscathed.
That part.
So we need you on the ground peacefully, legally, and we're finding ways to be effective. So that's what happened in Temecula. They fired a superintendent. And then 2 days later, up in Chino, we have the banning of the LGBTQ flag, which not anti-LGB, but that flag stands for a lot more than just loving who you want to love. And hopefully in a couple weeks, we're going to see this great parental rights resolution being dropped. And that's what I personally have been working for a year and a half. It brings a tear to my eyes. So we will absolutely be there to support those parents.
And that's in where?
In SoCal, what we want to do is tell the nation that SoCal parents are united, and we are networking, and we're growing and expanding. And we want to be the model to the nation of how to basically fight back against woke in our schools, against Gavin Newsom, who is targeted us, including Antifa. So the parents aren't taking it anymore. Follow SoCal. We're making great strides.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We definitely have to connect when we get off this call.
And we need to see more men out there. Like, I need to see more men out there. I love the mothers being out there, but dads, get out there. Even if you're not a dad of a child, if you just care about the well-being of these children, please get out there and speak against this.
Oh my God, I've been saying that.
Said, and check my page out. You know, Tim Thompson he's a local pastor, so we need these pastors within your region to step up and get involved politically. You need to go to your church and say, hey, do you have a political group? But so I get it. There's a lot of pressure. You know, it's one thing and they were afraid that Temecula Valley Unified would end up like Glendale, right? All the strife and stuff. So I understand the pressure. So it's one thing to say, I'm not asking anyone to go. And another thing to say, I'm letting my followers know Antifa will be there. But to hold a prayer session for men during the school board meeting, in our opinion, it's not the right move. We need you to hold that prayer in the parking lot of the school board meeting.
That
we
part.
need men on our side. We can do this peacefully, safely, and effectively. We need you in this fight.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because mothers are absolutely going to show up.
Yeah.
Well,
mothers are always going to show up.
That's how I started a year and a half ago. I was so upset as a dad. I was completely alone in San Diego Unified. And I would go to these outside groups and meetings, and it's all these mama bears. And they were looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? He says he's Ben Richards. He's got like kind of a pump. I don't know if we're going to trust this guy. But I was just like, I'm going to keep showing up. But that's the thing. Where are all the guys? Maybe they're working. I don't know. But that's what the dad army.
Yeah.
Dad army. Need more men.
Yeah. And you can follow the Dad Army if you go to Ben's Instagram page. He also has a link to the Dad Army as well. So
I actually do follow the Dad Army.
Yeah. That's cool.
I interviewed Seek a couple of times for Blexit. So yeah.
Nice.
Love her.
Yeah. And it's also, for instance, the Dad Army, you know, we need men to be involved with their children. And we have to armor our children up in the Word of God.
Lord. Lord.
I'm going to get baptized by my local Lexit chapter hopefully soon. I am absolutely new to faith because what we are seeing now is the attack on faith and the removing of God from our society, and it's all vanity.
Yeah.
Me, my sexuality, my gender. So we need men to be those leaders in that family unit and bring faith back into your family.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I saw that Lexit showed up. Lexit showed up at Chico, or Chino, was it Chino?
Chino.
You know, Lexit is very, very active. I did have to show them some salsa moves. Ben Richards can do salsa, so I'm halfway in the institution.
How come we haven't seen those videos, huh?
I'm dead.
But I work with them. They're very activated, and I very much appreciate everything they do.
Yeah.
So, and all of you, we're all in this together. I'm so honored to be with everybody in this movement. We are on the right side of history.
Yeah.
All of us together combined, we're going to fix this. I truly believe it, but we got a long way to go.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to support you any way we can. You guys know that. I know that you get busy and we get busy, and our show gets a little crazy sometimes, and you're like, are they still talking about saving the children? But we're always here for you guys to support in any way we can. So just reach out.
Yeah, and Mo and Soonie, you both were huge in putting Temecula elevated with the one that shall not be named controversy and that very meeting. So thank you for everything you do. And Nicollet, I'm a huge fan. I can't wait to connect with you.
I'm a huge fan of yours too now. Like seriously, we are absolutely connecting. And anybody, you guys, I need help with Blexit. I'm building Blexit up, like literally small brick, one brick at a time. So I would love to have members. And if you down for leadership, like we push into the community, we get into the community, and we take care of each other. So if you want to join up for Blexit, go hit the link in my bio on my IG, please.
And to any of the detractors who say, oh, Ben Richards, he doesn't even have children in this, in this district. This is a regional fight.
Mm.
And that's just what Corey Jackson is doing by introducing this new bill. He's a Riverside Democrat. And that Gavin Newsom's catching on because Corey Jackson, who I crashed his Democrat mansion party, I paid $100 under.
That was the video that we showed the last time you were on.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's funny.
But they want to make a law that bans the school board districts from banning books. So don't listen to the people who say, we don't want any outsiders. No, it is your region. You need to be active around if you find yourself in a regional capacity, or if you find yourself in a capacity that's down and in expert in your district, do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if you can see Nicollet, but I do have your Instagram down here. So if you guys want to connect with Nicollet about just following her, follow her because she's got awesome content. And then if you want to connect with her about joining Blexit, that's another great resource. You can.
I need all the help I can get. Lord, I need all the help I can get. Y'all just don't even understand. And like I said, we in LA County, and I work a lot. I have about at least 3 other jobs on top of me being a mom. So I need help. So I have people going to these school board meetings and we standing with these parents because most of the time, all I can do is bring attention to what's going on, pop off an outrage, shine light in the dark places because that's what we're supposed to do. That's what God called us to do. I would love to have people who are willing to be boots on the ground, who love community and whose heart is really to build bridges, not to keep adding and feeding into these chasms and chipping away at the chasms and making it bigger. I want to build bridges, and it's going to take a bunch of bridges to save our children. And we literally can't do that by ourselves. We need every single able-bodied person in this fight, just like Ben said. It's like and we can't look at numbers so much because I know everybody knows the story of the Spartans, but that story started in the Bible first. And one of the things I always love when people are like, well, you're not even in the district, like Ben said, it's like, yeah, but that doesn't matter because even in the Bible, when God was telling, I can't even remember the king's name, but he was telling him how to pick the ones who he was going to keep for the army. He said, take them down to the river and watch what everybody does. The ones who drink, just dive in, send them home because they're going to take their eye off the ball, basically. The ones who keep their head on a swivel, they don't even put their mouth to the water, but they put water in their hand and they throw it in their mouth and they're looking around the whole time. Those are the ones you keep. Because those literally are always looking to watch for danger. Like you will not be able to sneak up on them. Those are the types of hearts and minds that we need in this fight. If you don't have the stomach for it, if you don't have the endurance for it, like Ben said, we totally get that. You can help us from doing it online. But at some point, it's still going to touch you. Do not be deceived. The devil don't leave nobody alone. He leaves nobody alone. So as much as we're saying this is politics, this is a spirit. We have to remember that this is a spiritual war above all else. It is going to come down to what you've already given up as a Christian. Do you really want to say that you was willing to give up kids? Because I'm sorry, if I die on any hill, it will always be I will always die on the hill of children. That's always going to be my hill.
This is the last line. This is the last line. Last line. We have no other choice now. Last line.
Yes.
Amen.
They're coming out
100%.
Yeah.
If
If you guys are don't know about Blexit, I know if you go to their website and if you just sign up for whatever city you live in, somebody from the chapter will reach out to you and they will usually invite you. Yeah. Well, if they're in your area, yes. But if they're in other areas,
if you're in California,
yeah. But they usually have events, which is really cool, like bowling, or they'll have little happy hours and stuff like that, where you guys can kind of get to know. So if you're not sure, you could at least go and meet other people in your area, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would give
I'm putting together a big event for August 5th. So everybody set that date aside. It'll either be in LA or Long Beach, but it's gonna be big. I'm working on it right now. So
nice.
With, a lot of dope people that I think everybody's gonna really love to see. So
nice.
Because we need to kick back. We need to have fun too. Kick back a little bit. Rest up. pour into yourself so you can get back out there and pour everything out that you got.
Well, hey, keep me in mind, Nicollet. I'll hit you up.
Absolutely. Okay.
White night.
So Ben wants a salsa night. That's what he said.
Come down. Yeah, we can do that. I love to dance.
I don't know.
I love to dance, so we could definitely do that.
Ben, is there any place that we could support you other than the Instagram page that we have up here? Do you have a website?
Check the Instagram out. I'm trying to build a bunch of infrastructure. The best way you can support is, just like I said, you have to get involved. I'm trying to activate people. We must show up. You got to get plugged into your local regional group. If you don't have a group and you need help making one, DM me. And I'm in the middle of hiring a social media guy.
Cool.
Because we're all up in our ears, we're all spread thin, so I need to pump out information and strategies. So thanks for everything you all do, and I'm very proud to have met you all and being part of this movement. We are on the right side of history. We got to keep trudging forth.
Yeah, likewise.
That part.
Thank you, guys. All right, guys. See you later.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whew. You all right there, Soonie? You look like you were like dying towards the end.
I'm fine.
You feeling okay? I know you're still struggling. Well, that was exciting. I always love having. I haven't engaged with Nicollet in a long time. I used to follow her all the time when it was like you, me, and Phil, and she used to always get on the lives of Phil. But it's been a minute. I love her.
Excuse me.
I love her. All right. Well, what other stuff do we got for the people to talk about?
We just have just like a few light stories.
Okay.
Just stuff going on in the media. Funny stuff.
All right.
Excuse me.
We need a little funny stuff at this moment. What up, Liddell?
What's up? Sorry. So Aisha Curry was in the not even the media, but just Black Circuit because she once again is embarrassing her husband. Like, what's the girl who just got canceled? She got the bald head. Dang, what is her name? I was just
Amber
talking to you about her
Rose?
yesterday. No.
Oh, a bald head.
Will Smith's wife.
Who?
What's her name? Will Smith's wife.
Oh, Jada Pinkett Smith.
Jada Pinkett Smith.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's always in the media for disrespecting her husband. Well, this chick did some wild stuff on. It used to be called The Real with the Maori twins, one of Toni Braxton's sisters.
Yes.
It's called something else completely now. I don't know why they changed the name, but I thought this was completely disrespectful. Did you miss it? Hold on. Let's
Oh, this is a while ago. I thought this was recent. They're just now reacting to this?
I guess.
Because this show hasn't been on for this. Well, I used to watch this show, and I can tell just by Lonnie's wig that this was at least 2-3 years ago.
Girl chat? This is new.
Hold on. Okay, no, it's not. Because Jeannie Mize, that's not girl chat. That's the real.
It just says girl chat in the corner.
Girl chat's the name of the segment. That's what it is. Okay, girl chat's the name of
the
segment.
She took her ring off in an attempt to be super disrespectful. Like, I'm gonna go cheat just because this guy looks so good. And she's back in the media for it. I just thought it was weird to just sit there and watch a wife do that at that level. Like, that's just very brazen.
Okay, so I hadn't watched the video. I just saw the headline. I hadn't watched the actual video, so I didn't know that was an old video, or what even the context of her taking off her ring was. I thought it was like more of like a reality show, and something happened on a reality show, and she like took off her ring, pretending like I'm not married or something like that, or trying to hide the fact that she was married. You're probably gonna be mad at me. I get that she was joking. Okay. I get that she was joking. It's the segment is called Girl Chat. They always bring out a shirtless guy I think she was just going like, hey, this guy, he's a good looking guy. Let me just real quick pretend I'm not married. I don't think she was serious. Okay. Because why you would dump your husband, Steph Curry, for a waiter that's making probably $200 to bring out champagne on the reel. I don't know why. She's just saying he's fine. I don't think that's that big of a deal. I knew she'd be mad at me.
Yeah, it's disrespectful. What do you mean?
But I think it was more in joking.
No way to do this. This is why women act the way they do. Because it's some stuff you should not do. Why would you joke and be like, I'm gonna pretend to take my ring off when there's a shirtless man coming out? It's disrespectful. Like there's just no such thing as decorum anymore. Nobody knows how to learn when to turn stuff off and when to act appropriately. I would never get on TV and pretend to even give the illusion to take my ring off and thank you, unless after a half-naked man that's not even mine, when you are walking around calling yourself a Christian. No.
Oh,
where are there standards for women? Like,
she's walking
do they
around
exist anymore? It's like women have no standards anymore.
Is she walking around calling herself a Christian? Like she's like
their entire brand is Christianity.
Oh, I don't know because I don't follow the Currys, so I don't really know. I don't know. I'm indifferent to this situation because I see it as she was playing around. It's like me, like when I'm like, damn, I'm going to a WNBA game. There's going to be no fine guys there. I'm not really wanting fine guys there because I want to go and sleep around with fine guys at a WNBA game. I'm just saying, hey, it'd be nice to have some eye candy, but instead, I gotta look at lesbians. But it is what it is. I don't know. This to me, I'll pass on this one as being an outrage.
It's not an outrage. It's just calling a spade a spade.
Or disrespectful or whatever. I just see it as she was trying to be funny. Honestly, no, I'll be honest with you. Like, my mom, okay, my parents have been married 30 something years. My mom went to a back doctor, okay, and she joked to my dad that she was going to throw herself down a flight of stairs, so she had to continue to go to the back doctor because he was so handsome. That's not disrespectful or saying that she's going to cheat on my dad. It's just she's making a joke that the doctor was super handsome and she wouldn't mind hurting herself again, so she just has to go look at him. I'm just a little bit more lighthearted about that, but that's me.
Nah, bro.
That's me.
I think this is honestly, and I'm going to be super transparent. This is why I do not like hanging out with women because this is one thing that grinds my gears. If you would ever do that in front of your husband, then I know the type of person you are. I would never do any crazy shit like that or even give my husband. That's embarrassing. I don't know. I can't be around women like that, bro. That shit drives me nuts. Like if we're out, right, and it's a group of girls and then I hear women cackling about this dude who looks good, like, bitch, we are here to have fun as friends. Why are you looking at the dude across the restaurant talking about how good he looks when you're married as fuck? Like, come on.
I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a line. Like if you're being like really like, dang, I want to lay that guy down, da 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 da. But if you're just like, ha ha ha, let me just turn my ring around, joking.
See, I would cease to from talking to you that night because I would find that to be completely disrespectful. Like,
notice how she
just
said
we're
that
friends.
night.
Don't ever do that in front of me.
Notice how she said that night.
Yeah, and I would probably have a whole discussion like, bro, I'm not that friend that you could do that with. I'm sorry.
I probably wouldn't do it with you, just knowing that you don't have that humor, right? Like, you don't have that type of humor about that stuff like that, which is fine. I totally respect that.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I'm definitely inappropriate sometimes. But I mean no harm. I'm like one of those old ladies, that like says stuff, and I'm just, like when we were talking about like you don't like when people say honey or baby, like I say that.
Yeah.
I'm that person. But everybody's team Soonie on this one, so you win.
Mo will be. I don't want to win. I don't want to win. You need to watch this. Okay. Please watch this.
This better outrage me. What is this?
I don't think it'll outrage you. I think you would be like, girl, what?
Pay attention. Look down here on this pot.
Can you enlarge it? I can't see.
I can see. See, you ain't paying attention and you ain't gonna learn how to cook. Yeah. And that's the reason why your mama ain't got no man now. You're gonna end up being just like her. Look in the damn pot. Yeah, that's the ticket. See that there? That's called catch a man stew. I'm gonna teach you this to young, because we ain't bringing no more stuff something. That's called boiling. And when you get your food hot.
Catch a man stew. Wait, what was what did the little? I couldn't see like the thing because it was super tiny. But
it says Granny meant every damn word. Sorry, it says Granny meant every damn word when the elders teach you shade and shade you at the same time.
you know what the voice sounded like? Ricky Smiley when he does
Bernice
Jenkins. It's called Catch a Man Stew. That's funny.
She said, this is what you gonna need so you don't bring no more you bastards in here.
Oh, that's good.
That's why your mama can't keep a man now. She can't cook. Yo. I saw that video and I thought it was hilarious.
That is funny.
Let's give our AJ Owens update. I know people are
yes.
looking forward to hearing that. Sorry.
And while you're pulling that up, can we all just ask your local favorite influencer who loves to talk about these types of things why they're not talking about this particular incident?
Right Wing Angel?
Well, there's some big ones. Candace isn't talking about it. Brandon isn't talking about it. Angel isn't talking about it. I'm curious.
On it.
There's whooping.
I think we've expressed an opinion as to why. I could be wrong, but given they speak on everything racial when it comes to black and white, and there is a need to constantly disrupt the narrative, I don't see why it can't be the same here. I think even more if they spoke on this, it would really strengthen that this side is not tone deaf and blind to actual things that go on, because that's often said about the right, is we'll pretend like these things don't go on.
Right.
And they do go on. It may not be at the level of what it was, 70 something years ago. Nobody's saying that. But when you do see an atrocity such as this, where someone does indeed holler out racial slurs and make it very clear and apparent they don't want you there, what's the harm in talking about it is my question. I think it kind of gives credence to my original point of what are you afraid of? It's like Black conservatives are afraid to concede any ground on the race talk because I don't know why. I really don't. I think it shows how strong you are when you're able to walk and chew gum at the same time. That's what I take.
Yep.
Did you watch this?
Yep, I did. I sent it to you.
Oh, I didn't know if you were able to watch it. Okay. I'm going to play portions of it. I'm not going to play all of it. But this is her mother who went on The View. And
AJ Owens' mom.
Yeah, AJ Owens' mom went on The View. I didn't like this interview. And I'm going to play certain portions of it so you can see why I didn't like it. This is a conversation that definitely deserves some sort of empathy and grace because it's a fucked up situation.
Can you tell us about what happened that day?
On Friday, June 2nd, the kids were outside playing in an open field, a privately owned open field, as kids do. My 9-year-old grandson forgot his tablet. He went back to retrieve it, and Susan Lawrence was there to harass him. She called him racial slurs, said, "This is not the Underground Railroad, you slaves."
Now, I wanted to pause it there. This happened. Children report it. Neighbors report it. It happened. Why are we so afraid to talk about this bit? Because The View is going to exploit it, as you're going to see later on in the interview. They're going to exploit this lady so bad. Where is the portion where they talk about?
I think it's more towards the middle where they start talking about it being racial and the gun laws and all this other stuff. More towards the middle.
So I'm going to start here.
And unfortunately, the laws in the state of Florida allow for this shoot first mentality.
That's right.
And that's exactly what Susan did in this situation. Ms. Dias didn't mention it, but in the arrest affidavit, Susan actually told the 9-year-old to go get your mother. She created the situation. She wanted this to happen.
Didn't she check the laws also?
Yeah, in that same arrest affidavit, she admits to researching stand your ground law. She was using words that the detectives thought were interesting, and they asked her, they confronted her, why are you using these words? And these were sort of buzzwords and clues that made them think, well, why are you using these things? And she said, well, I researched stand your ground, and I researched self-defense prior to this incident.
Bro. The fact that this lady not only used racial slurs, but then tried to use stand your ground as a defense when you shot someone through a metal locked door.
Right. Obviously, you didn't research it well enough. Obviously, yeah. You didn't research it enough because the stand your ground laws, you have to be met with equal force. Right. And I know that we still don't know whether or not there was a second gun there and who it belonged to. They said that there was a second gun there. We don't know who it belonged to. But there has to be an actual threat, right? So if in fact this woman, AJ, was standing outside the door saying, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to shoot you, I'm going to kill you, which nobody has said was the case yet. Okay. Yeah. That would be a different story. That would then kind of move more into the, oh my gosh, she had a fear of her life. But as Soonie stated, she shot her behind a closed door. If you look at the images of the door doesn't even have a peephole. Okay. When the woman called 911, she wasn't even by the door. She was far away from the door. And she shot from the kitchen through the door.
Yep.
So it was a completely reckless situation.
Super reckless situation. Here it is. I think her name is, this lady. This is where I'm going to be honest. I'm not Mo. I will turn an interview off once it starts going out the rails. And this Eurocentric Becky, I can't stand her. Who? Sunny Hostin, whatever her name is. She has a way of just throwing lighter fluid on a going out fire, right? She just has a way of agitating a situation.
No, she was not arrested right away. To me, there's no doubt racism clearly played a part in this, right? It's a critical role in this case. Susan, the 58-year-old woman, she admitted she previously called your grandchildren and other kids in the neighborhood the N-word. Yes. She called them black slaves, as you mentioned. The NAACP now has issued a travel advisory and warned that Black people are not safe in Florida. And one of my questions to you is, has Governor DeSantis reached out to you and your family? Have Republicans reached out to you and your family?
Pay attention.
No. I truly believe it's because Ashika was a single Black mother who resided in Ocala, Florida.
That's the end of the interview, guys. You want to know why? Because they tapped into every single buzzword, dog whistle, narrative, everything they could have done in that 9 minutes, they accomplished. And this side is virtually quiet. The lack of exposure on this story speaks volumes. And we don't get to tell the story. Well, I do, because Mo actually brought the story up to me. I didn't even hear about it. There's not many people talking about this. The conversation is going to continue. We're never on offense, bro. And I guarantee you, this is one thing that they're going to use in the election. I bet you money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you're right. They now, the people like The View, they get to tell this story and spin this narrative that it was racism, when it really was just a case of an evil woman who was mean to her community. Nobody did anything about it. The police had several complaints against her. They did nothing about it. And if this accusation that the mother is saying that she made the comment about the Underground Railroad, or she said go back to the Underground Railroad, you know, that's a discussion that we do need to acknowledge, because that's something that we need to say, okay, we're not saying that racism on a grand scale exists, but it exists, and we can't pretend it doesn't exist. But you can't only point out when it fits the narrative you want it to fit, you know? And that's why this show is so great, because we do talk about both sides. We talk about when it is not a racist situation, or even when race doesn't play a part, right? Like right now, everybody's talking about the two black guys, the guys on the subway in New York, another subway situation. I think it's on the subway, where one guy
Did you put it in our
stabbed
chat?
I don't think I may have put it in our chat, but it was a situation where a guy stabbed another guy. Both are black, because the guy was talking about his girlfriend. Okay. They're hopping all over that. They're hopping all over that, and they're going, okay, so now what are we going to say to this situation? Because this is just like the Jordan Neely situation, where Jordan Neely, you know, held a guy in a chokehold. Now we're finding out that it wasn't exactly 15 minutes, yada, 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 right? But it does make me angry, and it makes us look really, really bad when we don't objectively talk about these stories. And we allow the witches on The View to paint the narrative. So
yeah, like, how did Governor DeSantis become like, bro? Number one, why haven't you spoke on this, DeSantis? If this were, see, this is what gets me. If this were a situation where it was a black man, or let me not say this, it was a white cop who shot someone who just so happened to be of color through a door and claimed stand your ground, every politician would be on it. Every news article would be on it. Everything we put out as content creators would be centered around this story. But because it doesn't fit the narrative, we can't speak on it.
Right.
So this is how you, in my opinion, this might be small, right? But this is definitely how you concede ground. In cases of an election, bro, you have to be firing on all cylinders. This is why the left never loses the social war, because they talk about everything. They cover all bases.
They talk about everything, and they turn it into whatever story they want to turn it into. Because our side only tells the truth, right? Our side only tells the truth. So when we can't paint it as what actually happened, we don't even try to like make up our own narrative and run with that like they do.
Or just like whatever. Yeah.
We're just like, well, it is what it is. We'll just pretend that didn't exist, right?
So check this. On June 13th of June, Jordan Williams and his girlfriend of 8 months were traveling between their houses on a J train in New York City when another man on the train allegedly began harassing other passengers. The man, DeVictor, I don't know his name, but he got to be Hispanic or African, one of them. He was allegedly moving throughout the cars, harassing and provoking other passengers, according to witnesses. He eventually worked his way to Mr. Williams, where his alleged harassment escalated into violence and ended with Mr. Williams fatally stabbing the 36-year-old. And of course, can we hold on? Where's a picture of him?
I think that's the guy that stabbed.
This is Jordan Williams. This is the one that did the stabbing. But the picture that they show of him, look at the pictures they show of him, bro. Bro.
They had a mugshot picture. I can't.
Come on. Now, they didn't show the other guy this way. If we compare, this is what it's like, little small things. The media does it, the influencers do it, and the cycle continues. I actually, for the hell of it, am going to cover the story and talk about it. I said I wasn't going to do it because I get annoyed when other people do this, attacking the narrative. But I do think that it's quite entertaining how quiet people are on this. When it's the exact same situation. The exact situation. So this is another argument you can bring to your lefties. you guys clearly only care when white people kill you. You only care because what if that guy was hungry and going through mental illness and all the things we talked about before, right? He didn't deserve to be choked out. Well, did this guy deserve to be stabbed? I hope there's video of it too. Is there video? You don't even know, do you?
I don't think there's video of it, no.
This is going to be fun today.
And what did his girlfriend do to provoke is what I want to know. Because she was part of the problem.
You think so?
I mean, you know what I'm thinking about? Who was the dude that got shot while him and his girlfriend were at the chicken place in LA in
Roscoe's? You're talking about PB&J? PB&J Rock?
Yeah, because she she was Instagramming where they were at.
Yeah.
And then he ended up getting shot.
He ended up getting got. Yep.
He got got. Yeah, that. Okay. Let me tell you something. I guarantee you. See, we're not even asking the question. Well, maybe he was sleeping with the girl. Remember the dude that got killed, beat in the streets, and then the rumor was he was having an affair with the police officer's wife, and that's why the police ganged up on him. See, y'all don't even take it in that direction with this one. Why not?
Look at the little badass cat.
Dude,
that cat is bad as hell.
He's so bad. Yeah, he's terrible. Anyways.
Oh, sorry.
What else we got? I know we got something else.
You want another funny one?
Sure. Ooh.
Do you want another funny one that will probably make you go, what? I guarantee you're going to go look into the story. Bet you money.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you know who Elliot Page is?
Elliot Page. No.
Elliot Page.
If it's some rapper, some new age, I don't know what.
No, it's not a rapper.
Okay.
It's not some new age.
Is that
so? Do you see this dude right here?
He's it's a transgendered actor. I knew it. So this was a girl. He
Juno.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so this is Juno. Juno is now being dubbed Juicy Smouye 2.0.
What? Oh, I'm looking that up for sure.
Yes. So Elliot reveals chilling transphobic attack outside of LA hotel. I'm going to effing gay bash you. Flag it. And then he, she, it, they, them detail the whole story where a hateful stranger approached him shouting obscenities. Let's just for 2 seconds, right? If you were to see this dude, chick, out, would you make any assumptions like, oh, that's a lesbian or that's a dude? Or would you just like keep walking?
I mean, if he had on or she had on this sweatshirt,
well, just we don't know what they were wearing, so let's just say they're dressed normal.
No, this person actually would pass as a boy to me.
Right now, what would make one person stop? Crap, what happened?
You just keep talking. Hold on.
Okay, here's what I started thinking about with this story. What would make someone attack him? She, her. It looks like a dude. I'm sorry. What would make someone attack her? How do they know that you are gay? In my opinion, you're not even a well-known face in Hollywood. I would never notice Elliot Page, aka Juno, out on the street. If my life depended on it, I would not know who this person was on the street. So what would motivate this random stranger who caught you coming out of a gym on an LA night? Okay, look, Page was standing on a corner in West Hollywood on his way to Pink Dot convenience store when the enraged, hateful stranger approached him, shouting obscenities. I'm going to effing gay bash you, forcing the actor to bolt towards the store in fear. Employees at Pink Dot escorted terrified Page into the shop, but the man allegedly followed him and stood in the store's doorway. This is why I need a gun, the maniac reportedly yelled at Page through the glass door. Where is the footage?
I can't. I think
where's the footage?
I think that this person is a completely non-relevant actor and they're trying to like jumpstart their career. Because number one, you look like a boy, and you're lucky you do because you're a pretty good trans looking boy, right? Number two, I don't buy for a second you were working out. You don't look like you work out. Okay. And number 3, really, in West Hollywood, somebody said that. I highly doubt it. Next. I want us to stay on top of this story.
You do?
Because I'm curious. I want to know. Like, is this going to go anywhere like Juicy did, or is it not?
Listen, I decided to do a little more research. It's Pride Month, right? I'm like, it is Pride Month. I've been sick. I've been really not posting, not going live, not doing too much. But I went on Twitter because you get all the tea on Twitter. And I wanted to see what this girl has been doing. And it's been nothing but just nonstop attention seeking. By the way, Demi Lovato no longer wants to be called they, them. She has referred back to she because it was just far too confusing. Her words, it was too confusing.
Don't spoil it because I was going to bring that up next.
You were? Okay, I'm going to shut up. Let's get back to this.
Yeah, let's get back to it.
So Paige says that she was sexually abused when she was 16 years old by older men in Hollywood, which I believe. That's why this person's so messed up now.
Yep.
She recalls that after splitting with her wife, she lived alone in a cabin where she punched herself numb. Later, listen to this, she began hearing voices. After 2 weeks of that, she went and got top surgery. This person is mentally ill and sick.
Yeah.
And they're attention seeking.
Yep.
Juicy Smoulier 2.0.
Yeah. You know what? So I don't want to talk too much about this in case this person is watching or the person that told me about this is watching. But I saw a picture yesterday from a family member of mine whose friend's granddaughter attends a special school, and I don't know what state, for these types of kids. Okay. And who knew that there was a school for these types of kids, like transgendered kids or kids that have like all kinds of weird stuff going on. Anyways, she said that the graduation ceremony was so freaking weird. Okay, that they had these kids and it was like a freak show, right? Because you could tell that these were like boys that were trying to be girls and girls that were trying to be boys. And then you had these people with pink hair and people with these wild looks. And to make it even more odd, they walked down the graduation dirt road, walking with a cow in tow or a donkey or something like that. And I don't know what that was supposed to signify, but it was the weirdest thing ever. And it was like their graduation certificate had rainbows all over. I was just like, what a freaking embarrassment. Like one day you're going to have to go apply for a job and they're going to be like, can we have a copy of your graduation certificate? You have to show this bullshit with a cow and a rainbow. Gosh, I'm sorry to get upset, but I was just like, I was sharing the Jordan Peterson interview that Chloe, the transgendered girl that has been making rounds, sharing her story about her trying to detransition. There was an excellent interview with Jordan Peterson. Anyways, let's talk about another nutcase. Okay, Demi Lovato. Shout out to her because I made a video for my YouTube channel criticizing Demi Lovato when she started to come out as gay, and she started to talk about how she was like raped at a party and blah blah blah, all in the haze of a drug overdose. She made my channel very popular because the Lovato fans are crazy and they came after me. Nevertheless, okay, I'm only furthermore proving my point when I saw this story that she is now going back to her she, her pronouns because she's exhausted with having to explain the they, them pronouns. Okay.
How do they think we feel?
That's the whole reason why I don't even subscribe to that, because you hear like when I don't know, like, should I call you a she? Should I call you a he? Well, what was your original sex? Okay, that's what I'm going to go with. Right? And then the they, them doesn't even make sense. Anyways, the story says Demi Lovato has recently made headlines for her decision to readopt the use of she, her pronouns in addition to they, them. So I guess maybe she's not dropping it. Like she's allowing people to say she, her.
Here's my question.
Go ahead.
Here's my question. Who gives a fuck?
She's sick. She's got problems.
Seriously, and the people who constantly like feed her sickness. This is on Rolling Stones. I want you guys to understand how many headlines this chick has.
GQ.
Like, can I get a headline of listen, Soonie Blanks was sick with COVID? Can I get a headline? Like, what? Who cares? Like, who cares that you no longer want to be called this? We all know it's exhausting. We have the same complaints. Who effing cares?
Well, get this though. Okay. Her community that was like all backing her when she decided to change to the they them are a little bit annoyed now that she's going back to the she her because they're saying it undermines the non-binary community. So just like they do with the people who want to detransition, they're going to slowly turn their back on her, and she's going to realize they weren't down for her to begin with. Thank God. Jesus. Thank God she didn't chop off her boobs and her, sew up her vagina. Yeah. Like, like at least she can go back. She can change her mind.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. There was one other story. It's on Pride Month. Oh, there was a situation that happened at a Dodgers gaming event where they were honoring trans nuns. No, drag nuns.
Real nuns? Wait a minute.
Drag. Nuns that are in drag.
Oh, Lord.
So believers in the city of Los Angeles are pushing back peacefully against an event that at the Dodger Stadium scheduled for Friday, honoring so-called drag nuns.
Do we get a picture? Please tell me we get a picture. Please tell me we get a picture.
We don't get a picture. Wait.
There they are. Oh my God.
Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence.
That looks like a horror movie.
It looks like a horror movie. So the Los Angeles Dodgers are offering their apologies and re-inviting the LA Sisters to be honored at their Pride Night. This is actually the tweet that they put out. This is why you cannot concede ground. Okay. There was probably 3 times in the interview that we were having earlier that I heard Ben say, it doesn't only represent your love.
Yeah.
It doesn't represent who you want to love at all. At all.
Right.
And the longer we concede ground as worshipers, as believers, as Christians, the more we will see this. This came out from the LA Dodgers, where they have all but the trans pride black brown flag, right? The pride flag for Pride Month. This is so disrespectful, and I'm actually shocked that the Archdiocese spoke out against this. Shout out to the Roman Catholics. At least somebody's doing something. After much thoughtful feedback from our diverse communities, honest conversation within the LA Dodgers organization, and generous discussions with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, the LA Dodgers would like to offer our sincerest apologies to the Sisters of Indulgence, members of the LGBTQ plus community, and their friends and family. We ask the Sisters of Indulgence to take their place on the field at our 10th annual LGBTQ Pride Night on June 16th. So tonight, at some point, they will be honoring
the sisters
these things right here. This is what's being honored.
Honoring for what? For being a freak show?
For being a freak show.
Unbelievable. I'm sick of
So the Archdiocese of LA is going to hold a prayer in response to this, because we keep letting them take things that don't belong to them. Now we've conceded ground. Now they're honoring drag nuns.
That's disrespectful.
At a LA Dodgers game. Nuns. They can't just be drag queens. They're drag nuns.
Yeah, that's even worse. That's disrespectful. That's taking
Come on.
Well, I don't even want to say that's taking it too far, because why do we even have to celebrate why do we even have to celebrate pride at a baseball game?
We can't even just watch the game.
Yeah. And PS people, I just want to report, okay, that I went to Target the other day and guess where I found the LGBTQ stuff? In the men's section.
Oh Lord.
Yes. So they done moved it from the kids next to the kids section. Now they've put it in front of the men's section. Are the men going to stand up and say, no. I'm not going to be here looking at all this rainbow. This rainbow shit.
Hopefully they speak out.
Your boycott didn't work.
Oh man. Let's give some sports updates because we haven't been able to give those.
Hey,
Ja Morant.
Wait, before we do, because I don't want people to leave, but come on Tuesday to our show.
Oh yeah.
We are going to have a special one. We got a woman who's got some crazy ideas about what a man and a woman's relationship should be like. What makes a weak, broke ass man? This woman has 15,000 followers. JP
Tune in. Tune in. Don't miss this. 9 p.m.
Don't miss that.
Please don't miss it. And please be there with me and offer me prayers and strength in the Lord. That I don't lose the respect in my mind with having this discussion. I feel like we should play her little excerpt again.
We should, but let me just say this. So in preparation for the show, because you know me, I do my research, right? So in preparation for the show, I just I'm going to go and watch like all of her content, right? I'm going to watch her videos and I'm going to tell you right now. And I told you this when we were on the phone. I don't care how many followers you have, what podcast you've been on, who's asking you for interviews. I don't give a damn. If you talk over me and Soonie the way you are on your lives, I can't. These lives, like where there's 3 people talking all at the same time, I can't do that. Okay. Another thing, I've heard your little story about Hagar and The Handmaid, and I don't need to hear it anymore. So come with a different example. Come with a different example. If I hear her bring up the Hagar and the handmaid Hagar, whatever her name was in the Bible, that she had a handmaid and her husband, whatever. Don't compare yourself, because that was like the exception in biblical times. Okay, that was the exception to the rule. You are no biblical woman, from what I can tell. So I'm just telling you, if you're listening right now, I'm going to give you all the respect. But you're going to respect me and Soonie on the show, and you're not going to overspeak us. We're going to let you speak. I'm very interested in what you have to say and why you have to say it. But come with a different example. Don't bring the same shit that I see. Don't bring the same shit that I see on your page. Y'all are going to see another side of Mo, because you think Mo's a punk sometimes. I think sometimes people think I'm like this softie. But when people annoy me and are disrespectful and are ratchet, no. Soonie. So pray for Soonie. Pray.
This is why I said, Mo, no, we shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do it. You know why I said it? It's because I understand this can go left in 3.2 seconds.
Yeah. Soonie, just listen. Listen, I don't want it to get wild. Like, here's the thing. I have to channel my inner Jesse Lee Peterson, because you know how sometimes he interviews people and I'm just like, how does he stay so calm with some of the stuff that these people say? I need to channel that from inside of me and take this very seriously, right? So like, I need to remember, like, when she says something, I need to be like, so why do you say that? Why do you believe that? Like, I want to get a good interview out of her, because I really want to understand why she thinks this way and how this is really working for her in her life. Because I don't think it is. Or this is like all a big front, and she's not really like this. She's probably like submissive to her husband because she's married.
Yeah.
And she's got a child.
Hey, man. Everybody can't listen. I'm about to be like Wayne. You know some fire's about to come on when a Wayne song come on when you hear the lighter. And he says, bro.
We need to get that sound effect right before. No,
I'm smoking.
I'm pulling sound bites for this one. I'm pulling sound bites because while I am asking, because Sooni's talked to her before, so like Soonie is not going to ask her as many questions. I mean, I want Soonie to ask her questions because she's going to know what to ask her.
Yes, I will definitely. You're going to be giving more than me because I've already gone through this with her.
Yeah, but while I'm doing that, I need you to be hitting the buttons on this.
I will. I got you.
Okay, because we need to make this funny for our people. I'm putting money on her rage quitting.
Really?
Yeah.
You think she'll rage quit the show?
I don't think so. I think she will yell.
Think she will.
Because I've been watching her content. I think she'll just yell and yell and yell and overspeak.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
I could definitely see her doing that. Look, I think we're going to see Mo lose it. I really do. I'm a vet over here, so I'm just going to sit back and be like, look, I didn't told y'all. I told you last week.
Holly's over here taking bets. She's taking bets.
I didn't told y'all.
All right.
Anyways, JP will be on here on Tuesday.
Yeah. Drop in the while Soonie goes into the next story, drop in the chat. Do you think we're going to make her rage quit? Do you think she's going to stick out the whole interview, or do you think she's going to rage quit?
Somebody said we're going to hear about Nickelodeon 10 times.
What's Nickelodeon?
I don't even know where that came from.
What? Oh, Lord.
I don't even know where that came from. What did I miss? Oh, gosh. Guys, Ja Morant is getting suspended for 25 games for the second video of him being caught on Instagram wielding a weapon. Now, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I don't agree with the punishment. I think it is stupid. We live in a country where we advocate for our gun rights. I don't think there's anything wrong with him being proud of being a gun owner. I get the contracts and the morality clauses that you sign as a product of the NBA and the NFL. I get it. 1000% I understand. But I don't agree. I can't agree with this. I think this is harsh. 25 games?
But so he's out 25 games, or he's being fined?
25 games. No. He's out 25 games.
Suspended. So a lot of I won't say a lot, but the ones that I've heard have the guys in the sports world have said that he was done for doing that.
I think he was done because of the morality clause. You sign it in a contract. You have to appear a certain way. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
But come on, bro. Come on,
25
bro.
games is a lot.
This is why I say that. The NBA will let these guys come out to shoot them up, bang, bang.
Mm-hmm.
They will let them put stories on their social media where they're dancing in the club where they're saying, shoot them up, bang, bang. They will invite that element to the games of all these rappers talking about shoot them up, bang, bang. So if the NBA is not even adhering to the quote unquote morality clause, how can you expect the young men to do it?
That's true.
You're all but letting that stuff permeate all through the NBA and the NFL. Look at how many songs LeBron James made popular in the last 7 years. The one he's most known for is T Grizzly First Day Out. And all he's talking about in that song is how he done beat a case and he'll take your head off your body and bury you. Like, it ain't nothing but violence.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just saying.
25 games does seem a little bit excessive.
It's extreme, dude. Yeah. Come on.
I mean, I think maybe they should have fined him and then that should have been it.
Yeah, because is he learning? He's gonna go through all the things that you guys tell him to do, but is he really learning?
Well, my thing is, like, okay, so when they get suspended for 25 games, do they still have to be there at the game?
Probably, yeah. They have to be there in the suit.
Because I was about to be like, it's kind of like when you ground your kids like for a month. All you're doing is giving them like a month of bullshit time to sit in their room and like think of more ways to fuck up. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you're right. Like, what are you teaching there?
What are you teaching them?
Update on the Dodger nun story. So thousands of Catholics have shut down the main entrance to Dodger Stadium on Vin Scully Avenue in protest of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence being honored tonight. They are now lining the sidewalks and have taken over the entire block.
This is nuts.
Listen, my people. Oh my God, they're marching the streets. They're gonna be like, look at all the Hispanic, Asian, white supremacists.
He said, "My people, my people."
Those are my people.
Gente.
I was raised Catholic, y'all. I was raised Catholic.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Oh goodness gracious.
That is funny.
They play 82 games in the season.
And he's suspended for 25. Dang.
Yep.
Okay.
2082. So, like I said, I don't think he'll be learning his lesson. But we have one more story before we close out, y'all. Joe Biden calls for new gun laws and says that U.S. children are suffering like soldiers in a war. If Congress refuses to act, we need a new Congress, Biden says at the safety summit in Connecticut. What?
They need to wait. We need a new Congress because they refuse to act on this.
Yes. This is why we need a new Congress. Joe Biden, everybody, are the president of the United States.
Oh, Joe. He's just trying to distract every which way he can from all the bullshit stories that are coming out about him and his family.
Seriously, like we talked about this the other day. We talked about how, and then we talked about this in relation to AJ Owens.
Yeah.
No gun law would have stopped that. No gun law. We would have never stopped that from happening because of morality. And we can't legislate morality. So the only thing that they are really asking for is to restrict more of your rights because you cannot stop people from killing people. You can't. Like we'll never be able to do that. So we're calling for, you want Congress to bring more gun laws, and we just had another school shooting in Tennessee.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? We have mass shootings every weekend in some parts of America. So how are these gun laws going to be helping? Like, no, we need a new president. Fuck a new Congress. You suck.
Exactly. Sorry, I had
you
to give the
suck. I hate Joe Biden, bro. I know he's not calling the shots. I know. We haven't forgot about Robert Kennedy, y'all. We had to do a Temecula show.
Oh yeah, we got to do.
I promise you, we haven't forgotten. I've got his videos pulled up right here in front of me.
Yeah, we got to do it. But we've been doing our homework on Robert Kennedy for sure. So it's been giving us some time to like study up on him.
Well, what do you think
about this? I agree with everything that you're saying. First of all, I'm sick and tired of hearing about this. I'm sick and tired of hearing about gun laws. I really am. Like, it's a non-issue.
Do you think gun laws will be a huge talking point in the election? You do?
Absolutely. Yeah. All these like shootings that they're highlighting, you know, I mean, it's going to be never ending. It's going to be, what do you think about gun laws? And do you think Trump should go to jail for 700 something years? Like, that's going to be the question that gets asked. It's going to be those two things, you know?
Yes. You know, look, the closer we get, the more fun it's going to get, like in my mind. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we're going to be combating so much bullshit that is not even funny, dude. And I hope that we have built enough just like discernment and muscle memory in times of election to where we just don't hop on every single story. Like I am really, really hoping that we continue where we are, because I feel it's going to go south.
Yeah.
It's going to go south.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, there's so much talk right now about like all the different people that have entered into the presidential race. It's still very, very early. There's rumors that Gavin Newsom is still going to run.
Yes.
There's some people that are already talking about, you know, dropping out and endorsing another candidate. I am intentionally not really talking about much of it right now, other than Trump, because I know Trump and, you know, I already have my thoughts on him.
Yeah.
But there's so much that's going to change between now and when we really have to start talking about it. Oh yeah, for sure.
I was I think I said this a couple of years ago that I thought it was going to be Gavin Newsom and Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Joe lasting much longer. He just tripped over sandbags. He just said we need a new Congress after Congress just got together and signed a partisan bill, a bipartisan bill that everyone and their mama was mad at for the debt ceiling because it was the best thing we could get, but a part of it sucked. Let's just be honest. So why do you need a new Congress when you just had Congress work with you to stop the ridiculous amounts of money that you're spending? What are you talking about?
Well, that's just it is. I think he's just saying like these salacious things to like override the headlines about him. Like that story, like I still haven't even confirmed the story about this supposed whistleblower being killed that it came out about the Biden pay to play scheme, which my understanding is started with Rudy Giuliani. But I have not seen it confirmed, so I don't know.
I hope he's nowhere near this entire incident because
Rudy Giuliani,
look, they finally have put it out that look, Burisma boss in alleged Biden bribe scheme claims to have taped 15 conversations with Hunter. Right before that, you had told me about one of the whistleblowers being dead. They're still not talking about that. There's another news article that came out. It was regarding a woman. I have to find it.
So there was a woman that was part of this thing that died in 2011. I think is that who you're talking about?
Was it 2011?
Well, yeah. That's if we're talking about the same woman.
I'm going to send you this real quick because this is actually what I was reading.
Okay. By the way, guys, if you want to get ahead of all this information, I've said this multiple times. Go pick up this book, Laptop from Hell. It will tell you everything that has just come out in the media about all the whistleblowers, and you'll be ahead of the game because the information that's just now coming out was actually in this book.
Yes.
2 years ago when it was written 2 years ago. So I highly
has been talking about this book for a minute.
I had this book for a minute. I love this book. It was an excellent read. It talks about everything. You guys are going to be like, holy shit, how is this not out in the news? But now it's starting to creep out there. But none of this is new to me because it was all in this book. So they write about the whistleblower that supposedly is dead in this book.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's read
this. If you guys want to go look at older information, I actually covered the Ukrainian government coming out talking about Burisma, putting out the recordings. You now have another guy who is involved in this, having 15 audio tapes of him and Hunter Biden speaking. So we're going to have a very fun election. I hope this is highlighted more so than Trump's BS. Like, I hope the right really hypes this up.
Okay,
this is an article I was reading.
So maybe this is the person they're talking about that died because this was just the other day.
Yes. I meant to send this to you yesterday. I totally forgot.
Okay, so let me read this because I don't think people can read this. So Nicollet, listen, wife found dead. The whistleblower at Burisma has been revealed to be the wife of former Burisma owner Nicollet Listen, who also passed away under mysterious circumstances during the year. Okay, so this is the person I'm talking about during the years of the Obama administration, when Vice President Joe Biden and his son Hunter were active in Ukraine. The People's Voice reported the Burisma whistleblower identity has been confirmed by multiple sources. Wow.
It's gonna get crazy out here, y'all.
How are they keeping this such a small story is my question. Why is Fox News not talking about this?
You want to know how? Because they label all this shit conspiracy theory.
How?
This is how they get away with shit.
Sorry.
Because who's going to like really think of this? People who pay attention to foreign policy, these people know what's going on as far as Burisma, insider trading. We all have a good understanding of that. But who is really going to fathom that a sitting politician in the US is going around smacking people because they have dirt on them? For some people, it's too far-fetched. It's from a movie. This would never happen in real life because we have checks and balances. So it's just like mudslinging. They don't think shit like this can happen. They only think it can happen in regards to Trump because he has been labeled public enemy number one. This would never blow up.
I was checking Trump's Truth Social and I didn't even see anything about this. So why isn't he talking about this?
No, probably because somebody didn't told him our advice. Shut your ass up.
Or maybe they're not telling him. So that now we know Trump only talks about what he's told to talk about.
Shut up.
Shut your ass up. Soonie and Mo said, shut your ass up.
They told him, they're like, look, Soonie and Mo said, be quiet, man. You messing it up. Sit back and relax.
I don't know. I just said this to my dad because my dad was asking me yesterday. He's like, "Are you serious? Like, this is really going?" And then I told him it came from Rudy Giuliani. And my dad's like, "Yeah, he's not really a reliable source." My dad, you know, y'all know what my dad does. So when my dad says Rudy Giuliani is not a reliable source,
Rudy Giuliani, everybody.
I love.
Can we get JP's video pulled up so people can understand what they're tuned in for Tuesday?
Oh yeah. Let me do that.
Jesus.
Which
Trump
one
ain't
do
trying
I
to
pull
get
up?
the one where she was going in on Hagar and Sarah.
With the where she's in the podcast with the other women.
Yes.
Get
Guys,
behind
tune
me.
in. Get behind me, brokey. Listen, only broke dudes, and I want you guys to bring your husbands to this specific show.
Oh yes, we need men to come to the show.
Bring your men. Hold on, let me take this down. Okay.
Bring your men, please. Is it this one or is this? Oh no, it's this one.
That one.
Let me be 100 with you. Let me be 100 with you. Any dude that's out here talking about, oh, you gotta cook and clean for me, it's because he broke. Because real men who got real money got maids, got cooks, got nannies.
I was taught be in the kitchen, cook. A husband wants a good woman that know how to cook and clean. Yeah, that's all good, but he needs to know how to cook and clean too. Because nowadays women are making money, they doing things.
Right. That's a mindset. The one who said I need my woman to be in the house, cooking and cleaning. I could go biblical on you real quick. Abraham and Sarah, they had Hagar. Hagar was a handmaid, y'all. She helped Sarah with her day to day. Sarah ain't cooking and cleaning. Hagar was doing that because they had big bank.
And that's exactly why he slept with the woman that cooked and cleaned.
That is not what happened.
I'm joking.
Let me be one.
I need a Hagar.
My husband,
you know what?
Would look at me sideways if I said I need a maid.
You know what? Before this interview, I need to read up on Hagar and see what the day-to-day was. Okay. I'm willing to. Soonie, can you please tell me where to look up that story?
I got you.
Because I need to do my research. Okay. You sent it to me in the WhatsApp. She is okay. By the way, these people in here with her is her mom and her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So she's married to a Puerto Rican dude because her daughter looked Puerto Rican or Dominican or something.
I do not know. Don't get me in here lying because I don't know.
The music during this video has me rolling.
Bitch, get out the way.
She is wild. I'm trying to see.
She said, "Where?" She hit me up and was like, "Where's the photo?" I said, "We have a show. We're not going to promote you before the show. We'll put it out after." She was asking me, "Hey, where's the promo?" And I'm like, "We didn't even do a Friday show yet."
Yeah, we can't promo a show before our other show is promoted.
Okay, got it. After this show, we will promote. Listen, we're gonna stop it here. Make sure you tune in on Tuesday to see Mo and JP have the conversation because I done already had it.
Okay.
Now I'm going to ask the hard questions. I'm going to push back with biblical text to push against this because I don't quite understand how this is any sorts of biblical. Like Mo said, Abraham of this day would have been considered far superior to the rest of us. So of course, that's chump change to him.
Right.
Go ahead and do that. But that's a different caliber of man, and they probably had a completely different dynamic going on. That is not Soonie and Mo here. Okay, the clothes don't get washed unless Mama washes them.
Right.
Food ain't getting cooked unless mama cooks it.
Right.
It just is what it is. This is my job. This is what I do. And you know what? And it's crazy how I can do both and still run a successful podcast. Isn't that great? My husband didn't have to break the bank.
Right. Look at this. Okay, so she's a podcast host, a music manager. Yes, I'm also the something B. Simone stole from my, I don't know what the fuck that means, #1 best-selling book. Okay. I have a Mind of Mo question, impromptu Mind of Mo question. And I'm going to ask it the way Soonie would ask it. Why come everybody...
Oh my God. No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Why... like the people from South Carolina ask, or North Carolina, wherever it is. Why come everybody who writes a book is a #1 bestseller? Let me just say this real quick. Just because you in your category on Amazon, which by the way, doesn't mean you had a publisher. Okay. Anybody can put a book out. Doesn't mean that you're #1 best-selling in all areas. It's kind of like when Loza said he's like the #1 rapper. Don't be playing that shit. You're gonna get our shit copywritten.
I'm trying to put her thing up.
Oh, okay. It's kind of like when Loza calls himself the #1 rapper. I'm like, not really.
Don't listen to her. All right.
That's what the... Hey, and don't attack Soonie because your all-time favorite Bryson says that too. It's something from people from the South. They say, "Why come?"
Whatever. Just like Spanish people speak broken English. Nobody makes fun of them.
I don't speak broken English.
Yes, you do.
How do I speak broken English? What do I say?
You say she be, or why you be doing that? I heard you before. Be? Like, what do you mean? Isn't it why are you doing that?
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Wait a minute. Have you ever looked at the links on her link tree? Did you know that she was on a reality show?
No. What reality show?
I don't even think I can show with the audio, but hold on. Maybe somebody can tell me what this show is. Oh, she's thirsty.
Oh God, I'm scared.
Pageant rap battle, Little Miss Atlanta on TLC. Oh, look at her with the other moms.
And the mic came through and she grabbed it and kept going. And I was very proud of her.
Jolly really let her spirit out and let it just flow. She's a rapper, like my brother. They call me the How you doing? Come and take a selfie. What you doing? I'm gonna take a selfie.
Jai has some talent, but I think that a lot of the stuff that she did was over the top for what we were looking for.
I want to see what JP says.
Gone out. So far, what I've seen, no. Nobody measures up at all.
Oh,
so now
Lord.
Miss Heaven judges.
Heaven
She's
is
a
very
stage
talented.
mom, Soonie. This is her artist, Jam Lewis.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Is he part of like Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis?
That's what I took from it. But I don't hear it. Look, let me shut up.
Wait, where did her thing go?
Let me.
I clearly have more research to do.
Yes,
says
you do.
The fiction is as seen on TV.
Lord, help us. Help us, Lord. Help us.
Consultations. Oh, hell no.
Bless me, Jesus, because I'm going to go. I'm going to go through it.
Oh, I'm
I
going to
feel
dive
it.
in. I'm about to dive in.
Oh.
I'm going to dive into this website, man. Dude.
Let me say broke niggas or...
Oh, man.
Dang.
Honey Boo Boo 2.0.
I'm going to say broke niggas reloaded.
Oh, have you heard the #1 new and up-and-coming rapper from LA, M. Benz the Great? Dude, what's been going on with her?
First of all, I'm already, listen, I don't feel good. Okay? Don't ruin my vibe, my peace, my tranquility by bringing that thing up. She comes with all sorts of negative energies, and I don't listen. The demons, they've been fleeing. They ain't been around. Please don't bring this lady up on this show, because you know what happens. She never stops. And then I got to come out and roast. And then there is a whole cycle that restarts. So M-Benz, oh Lord, leave M-Benz in whatever hole that she crawled out of.
Look at this cat all
This
wrapped
little
up in the
nigga, bro.
wires. He's bad, man. I want to know what's been going on with M-Benz.
I don't. Anyways, y'all, we're gonna have an after party
It's though.
because she's a big hit and we are only big its. Spaghetti on the sweater. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Spaghetti on the sweater.
Spaghetti on the sweater. Oh man, that was my favorite one.
Jesus.
Who spoke with the devil?
Nobody. We're gonna have an after party on IG. I'm going to be talking about Anthony Tremino. We didn't get to that part of the show, but Anthony Tremino put out a very interesting video that I found to be pretty odd, coming from a Christian who's supposed to be rejecting the world, but is literally talking about how corruption has always existed.
Can you show me the video? I know you want to go, but can you just show me the video really quick? I want to see.
Did I send it to you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Or is it on his Instagram page?
It is, but I got you. He just looks slimy, dude. You know how people just look like, Why do I want to flick that cat so bad and say, act right?
He's wild. Hold on. I'm about to pull it up. Oh, he looks like a mob boss.
Yeah, I don't have it. It's not working.
He did not come to overthrow Rome. In fact, he left Rome intact. I started to think about the
Can you
journey
restart
that
it?
I've been on,
I didn't hear
the
the
political journey that I was on, and the battle that so many.
Why does it? The music.
I don't know.
I heard something really profound online and had an epiphany. You know, when Jesus came, he did not come to overthrow Rome. In fact, he left Rome intact. I started to think about the journey that I've been on, the political journey that I was on, and the battle that so many of us fight to not just overthrow the government, but to replace the government or to change the government and fight the political battle. The epiphany I had is, you think about what Jesus did. He didn't come to overthrow the government. He came to change people so that they could live despite the government. That's a profound thought, and we need to think about maybe the battle isn't about changing government. Maybe the battle is changing the hearts and minds of people. So that we can live despite the government. Ponder that.
Is he high?
I just heard some.
Let me see who liked this so I can just judge them. Is he high?
Is he? He gotta be.
That was really weird.
Or maybe we're just here to change our hearts and minds. We are supposed to resist. We're supposed to fight. What the F are you talking about, sir?
You know what's interesting is I didn't see any of the people that endorsed him last year like in that video.
Who was talking about overthrowing? Has anybody on the right talked about overthrowing anything?
Right.
If anything, this side talks about reformation.
Yeah.
On how to fix what is going on with our government right here, right now. No one is talking about overthrowing shit. What are you talking about, bro?
Yeah, that was That was really random. I'm like, I'm not on that level.
You didn't have no epiphany. Stop it.
Yeah, I'm not on that level.
Come on, bro. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us this Friday. Thank you. Shout out to all the people in Temecula who are fighting and not letting their foot up. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Nicollet. Thank you guys for coming on. It was really fun. Please make sure you guys tune in. He was talking to Corey. Please make sure you guys tune in this Tuesday at 9 p.m. where we will be having JP Wrights on to have the discussion about the broke nigga mindset.
You don't want to miss it.
You don't want to miss it because it might get fiery. It might be bland. No, it's going to be fiery.
Oh, it's going to be
I'm going to bring my A game to this show. I'm not going to just sit back. I'm going to push back on her. She's in my territory. You don't get to yell. That's one thing I don't like doing. I don't like yelling. So if it turns into that, I just check out of the conversation. Okay? So do not miss that. Tuesday at 9 p.m.
Yep.
Tune in to see JP Wrights talk about broke nigga mindsets.
She married to a Dominican.
How do you know?
Because the daughter looks Dominican.
Does she? I'm not even about to try to figure this out.
She's like a Dominican lesbian. Did you see her?
Oh my God, she's not a Dominican lesbian.
I'm gonna ask her. Hey, I'm gonna ask her. I'm gonna be like, "Is your daughter gay? Because only weak men produce."
Oh my goodness!
Only produce girls.
Different dads. Oh, okay. She was a single mother. Oh, am I? Never mind.
Dang, Deontay has all the tea on her. She was a single mother before this.
Out.
She was a single mother before this, so she found a guy to father her child. A sucker.
She was leftovers, yeah.
She for the streets. MAGA cat. MAGA puss.
Oh my gosh. Bye.
Cute.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us.
Bye, guys.
They say that something's so offensive, but only if you get offended. I can't offend you without your permission, and you don't even have to listen. They say that something's so offensive, but